Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda
Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Vaidvadidam Gaganasamrishanam Tattvamasya Laksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavadidam Nityanarahitam Sadgurundam Namami. Nithyananda, everybody. We welcome each and every one of you for the Parashakti Akashic readings, manifesting through the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, photography, video and audio recording of any kind is strictly prohibited during all sessions. Please be on mute and be on camera. If you need to step out due to some unavoidable situation, please inform the digital security officer. A few important cautions. We welcome all the KAILASA Vasis attending from KAILASA's monasteries, Gurukuls, temples, ashrams, and centers from all around the world. We welcome all the Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Nithyananda TV, KAILASA TV, Hinduism Now TV, and all those who are blessed to have the Nayana Diksha, which is the two-way video conferencing, and who are joining us for today's sacred spiritual program, the Devi Bhava Samadhi Darshan, Parashakti Akashic readings. My name is Sri Nithyananda, and I am one of the Acharyas for all of you today. Joining me is Sri Nithyananda Maharaj, who will also be an Acharya for today's segment. Let us now understand about Devi Parashakti. Devi is the ultimate pure feminine consciousness, the cosmic mother. She is a source Shakti. It is her cosmic womb, the Brahmanda Yoni, from which billions and billions of universes comes out and goes in. She is the source of Big Bang and black holes. Parashakti is the divine consort of Paramashiva, who is the primordial god in Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism beautifully reveals that the first and the foremost relationship is mother. Ability to learn, even the idea to relate starts with mother. How to relate starts with mother. Understand, your idea to relate, your ability to relate starts with mother. Mother is an important way to connect with what you think as life. In Vedic tradition, our rishis were aware. Your ability to connect with the mother should be directed towards the cosmos. It should inspire you. It should awaken your higher consciousness. It should inspire your higher consciousness to express to you. Connecting with life as mother is the most sweetest, most beautiful, and most easiest form to ever connect with.
Today, out of this extreme compassion and love, the supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is manifesting Devi Parashakti herself and gracing us, answering all our questions, attending to our prayers, giving wounds, healing us, revealing our past, present, and future, and delivering profound spiritual truths, and ultimately giving us the experience of Paramashivoham itself. Let us understand what is Bhava Samadhi Darshan. What is Samadhi? Sama is oneness and Adi means source. So Samadhi means one with the source. Bhava means attitude, aspect. Bhava Samadhi means being one with the source through this aspect. Darshan. What is darshan? Darshan means to have a glimpse of. In Vedic tradition, it is used to describe the moment we behold a deity, an avatar, a saint, or an enlightened being, as just seeing such a being can cleanse the karmas of lifetimes and create a deep, lasting transformation in the receiver. Darshan is the powerful superconscious vibration that is present around an avatar at all times. He simply radiates darshan just as the sun continuously radiates light. The auspicious moment when the receiver is able to catch, it becomes the moment of darshan for you, raising you to the next level of superconscious breakthrough, like hitting the reset button on your being.
The science of Bhava Samadhi Darshan. The first and foremost understanding is that the divine cosmic beings are real. They manifest from KAILASA, which is the enlightened time space zone, through the deities and incarnations. The divine cosmic beings manifest through the Archavatara, who are the deities in temples, and also through the Bhava Samadhi Darshans of the Nijavataras, who are the incarnations. The Bhava Samadhi Darshan is the science of the Nijavatara manifesting Paramashiva, who is the supreme consciousness. Devi Parashakti expresses through the being of Raja Rajeshwari and manifests as Nijavatara and the physical form of Devi Meenakshi. The Archavatara, who is the deity, reflects the consciousness and the manifestation, the being of the superconscious energy. But human beings are not mature enough to receive the higher level of experiences from the Archavatara directly. And that is the reason the avatar, the physical embodied form, comes down to bridge the gap and create a experience of superconscious energy in each.
Bhava Samadhi awakens your Kundalini Shakti, which is the latent potential energy in every human being. This influx of superconscious energy. So during the darshan, the whole brain comes alive, turning into a superconductor of conscious energies that heal, empower, and transform our lives. During Bhava Samaya Darshan, our neurons mirror that of the incarnation. Mirror neurons activate and process all the observed movements or information of the avatar just by seeing.
Let us understand about the Akashic readings. The readings from the cosmic archives. Akashic readings are not just some predictions. It is reading from the cosmic archives directly. Beyond space, creation and destruction happen simultaneously. In the dimension of time starts the past, the present, and the future. But because the Akashic readings are stored in Akasha, which is the space dimension, there is no past, there is no present, nor there is a future. That is why whatever we call as happened, happening, and yet to happen are already clearly recorded in the cosmic archives. Before we enter into the next segment, where we understand and learn about the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, let us have a short break. Nithyanam, everybody, welcome back. Let us now learn about the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is the reviver of KAILASA, a macrocosmic, ancient, enlightened Hindu civilizational nation. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva as per Hinduism, and he has been recognized by his predecessors who are enlightened masters and adepts. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has made the science of power manifestation, yoga, and the temple-based universities a lifestyle for the humanity.
The Supreme Pontiff of So let us look at some of the coronations of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Even before 1981, he was identified as the 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva by spiritual adepts and enlightened masters of Hinduism. In 1981, he was initiated into Bala Sannyas and Chaturmasya 3. In 1980, Hinduism was coronated as the future Guru Mahasannidhanam or Pontiff of the Thondaimandaladinam, the oldest monastic university. In 1994, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was the successor of Arunachala Sarvagna Peetham by Guru Parampara on 24th May 1994. In 1999, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism founded the mission Nithyananda Sangha to revive KAILASA internationally. In 1999, he was coronated as the successor of Kashi Sarvagna Peetham. So let us look at some of the pictures where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism being declared as the successor of Arunachala Sarvagna Peetham by Guru Parampara. Here are the pictures where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism founding the mission Nithyananda Sangha to revive KAILASA internationally at the age of 21. So here, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is being coronated as the successor of Kashi Sarvagna Peetham.
In 2002, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism founded the Adi KAILASA Sarvagna Peetham on 4th of November. And on 1st of January 2004, he was declared as the successor of the Bhagyanagara Sri Pura Sarvagna Peetham. And on 31st of December 2004, he was declared the incumbent emperor of the Suryavamsa Surangi Samrajyam of the age. What we are looking at here is the photographs and the glimpse from laying the first brick of the Adi KAILASA Sarvagna Peetham at the age of 24. Here is a ceremony that was performed when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was declared as the successor of the Bhagyanagara Sri Pura Sarvagna Peetham. This is the royal lineage of the Suryavamsa Surangi Samrajyam, of which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the incumbent emperor. In 2007, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism revived the Adi Pallava Sarvagna Peetham, and in 2007, he was declared as the Mahamandaleshwar of the Mahanirvani Akhada. On 27th of April 2012, he was coronated as the 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Madurai Shamalapita Sarvagna Peetham, which is the oldest Hindu papal state and the monastic kingdom.
So let's look at some of the pictures where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving the Adi Pallava Sarvagna Peetham at the age of 29. So here, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is being coronated as the 293rd Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam or Pontiff of KAILASA the Shamalapita Sarvagna Peetham. So in 2013, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was officially coronated as the Mahamandaleshwar order and the youngest Mahamandaleshwar to be ever coronated. Following the same year, he was declared as the Acharya Mahamandaleshwar of Atalakara, the oldest monastic order in Hinduism, by Acharya Mahamandaleshwar Sukhdevanandji, the then incumbent spiritual head. In 2014, he was coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of Tanjavur Adinam.
Here is a glimpse from the coronation ceremony when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the Mahamandaleshwar Kailashwar, which is the supreme spiritual head of the Mahanirvani Akhada, which is the largest apex order. Kailashwar to have been coronated at just the age of 36. Here is a glimpse from the coronation as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Tanjavur Adinam at the age of 36. In 2014, the Supreme Nidhanam of the Tirvarur Adinam, following which he was coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of Vedaranyam Adinam in the same year. The next, he was then coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Panchanadi Kulam in 2014. Here is the Guru Parampara of the Tirvarur Adinam. This is the Guru Parampara, the photographs of the Guru Parampara of the Vedaranyam Adinam. In 2015, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Dharma Mukti Swargapuram Adinam. And in the same year, he was also coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Adipita Koladama. In 2015, he was also elected as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism by a congregation of over 1,000.
Yes. So here is the Guru Parampara. Here is the Guru Parampara of the Dharma Mukti Swargapuram Adinam. And here you can have the glimpse where Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism being coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of Dharma Mukti Swargapuram. Yes. So here you have the glimpse of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism being coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of Adipita Koladamata.
What we are looking at here is the photograph from the congregation when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was declared and elected as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism by the congregation of over 1,000 Hindu leaders and pontiffs at the age of 36. Let us look at some of the global initiatives of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Over 26 years of relentless humanitarian services and initiatives, including free vegetarian food, medical services, natural disaster relief, women empowerment initiatives, conflict resolution and peace initiatives, sustainable Hindu practices and bodies, 100 books and 10,000 articles in English, Tamil, Sanskrit, and these have also been translated into 50 languages with over 1,000 titles. Over 20 million copies of books and articles have been sold, read, and downloaded. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also established the world's largest Hindu library with over 1 million books, 1 million palm leaf scriptures, and over 20 million books.
And also over 10,000 plus hours of discourses with over 1 billion views on social media. Also revered as the most prolific and most viewed guru in the digital world, read and watched by 1 billion plus followers in Hinduism. And Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has the world's greatest digital Hindu nation with over 1 billion views.
The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is also respected as the commentator of all the sacred scriptures, such as the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, Shiva Sutras, Yoga Sutras, Ashtavakra Gita, Jain Sutras, etc. He is also honored as the leader of Hinduism, the most awarded, internationally recognized Hindu leader. He has also been acclaimed as one of the top 100 spiritually influential people by the Watkins Mind, Body, Spirit magazine.
The Sovereign Order of KAILASA, led by the HDH Nithyananda Paramashivam and Nithyananda Order of monks, nuns, and Hindu diaspora, are working for global peace and to give superconscious breakthrough to humanity.
The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also established the largest Hindu university in the world with satellite campuses in over 150 countries. He has also established 1000 plus Kailasa enlightenment ecosystems. And he is also the founder and the reviver of over 100 Sarvanya Pitams. Let us now look at the news and events from Kailasa after a short.
Time itself is nothing but your decision to struggle with the same rut. Your decision to struggle with the same rut is time, Kala. Your decision to swallow time is Kala Bhairava. Stand. Be a conscious woman or man. Be conscious being. Shrink the time through conscious will persistence. Make the future into present by being ferocious with yourself.
Nithyanam, everybody, welcome back. Let us now look at some of the events and news from Kailasa. January 3rd marked the grand narrative of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's 45th birthday. Over 31 cities worldwide have celebrated Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda Day. The following dignitaries were present on the auspicious occasion of Kailasa's SPH Nithyananda Day. Sri Neil Patel ji, candidate for the Republicans primaries for Ohio Senate from Columbus, Ohio, United States. Sri Ravindranath Tanku, Member of Parliament for Oraposh West in Trinidad and Tobago, and the Chairman of the United National Congress Party. His Holiness Jagadguru Dilip Ji Maharaj, Hindu monk, NGO representative to the UN, spiritual guru, and the interfaith minister in New York, USA. A world-renowned yogi and interfaith minister from Tripunitura, erstwhile, the capital of the Cochin Kingdom in Kerala, India. His interfaith family is ancient and well respected for its knowledge of yoga, Vedanta, universal spirituality, Kalaripayattu, which is the origin of martial arts, Ayurveda, and other natural self-healing systems, Sanskrit, literature, art, social and cultural activities, and interfaith teachings for peace and harmony. His Excellency Ambassador Anthony G. Hilton, Member of Parliament in Jamaica, he serves as the Member of Parliament and is currently the leader of the opposition business in the House, as well as the Shadow Minister of Industry, Investment and Global Logistics. He has served as the Deputy Chairman of the People's National Party.
Reviving the enlightened civilization is a survival need that human beings have lived an unconscious life and destroyed everything around us. Especially in the last 100 years, the deforestation, the damage we cause to the environment, and the collective negativity we increase is unimaginable. We are going too fast. We are going too fast towards destroying the only home we have, which is the planet Earth. So, enlightenment, the conscious-centric lifestyle, reviving the enlightened civilization is no more a luxury. It is a survival need. In every level, it is time that we bring conscious-centric policies, enlightenment-centric ideas, non-violence, and coexistence-centric values as our lifestyle. Hinduism very clearly declares Ahimsa Paramo Dharmaha, the ultimate natural cosmic law. Dharma is non-violence. We bring non-violence in our play to our actions and policies in the personal level or societal level or towards other nations or planet Earth. If this generation, human beings, wake up, we are going to leave a better planet for the next generation. If we don't, I don't want to say what will be the result because there will not be anything left. If we don't wake up to conscious-centric values, the enlightened civilizational policies, values, non-violence-centric principles, and ideas, the collective negativity which we already triggered, is not going to let us live on planet Earth. The only hope we have as of now. So we all conscious human beings have the responsibility to unite all the nations to revive ethical environmentalism.
We have to unite all the nations for consciousness studies and practices. We have to unite all the nations to preserve, teach, and to live the enlightened sciences. We have to bring the enlightenment-centric policies, principles immediately to protect the environment, to bring gender equality, to bring real health, not to use human beings as a resource for the pharmaceutical industry. We should focus more and more on bringing life positivity in every level. Kailasa, the only surviving ancient enlightened Hindu civilization, is working intensely, sincerely, uniting all the nations recognized by the UN and unrecognized nations, civilizations, ethnic groups, matriarchal civilizations, the whole humanity, for reviving this consciousness-based enlightened civilization. Kailasa is the first nation for all Hindus. By the grace of Paramashiva, we do have a sovereign land, a sovereign territory that is gifted to us by more than one country, legally given to us as per the Vienna Convention. Sovereign territories in more than one place for Kailasa, and in a few places, few countries, kind of autonomous, semi-sovereign, and small islands were given to us. We have diplomatic relationships that have been established with a few dozen of countries. And many countries have established the sister city agreements, the embassy relationship, spiritual embassy relationship, and many levels of recognition and diplomatic tie-ups. Kailasa is more of a civilizational nation. Every awakened human being's heart is the territory of Kailasa, and Kailasa commits to do its responsibility to spread the signs of enlightenment and to revive the ancient Hindu civilization nation for the sake of humanity. Let us look at some of the upcoming special darshans. On 13th of January 2022, we have the Vaikuntava Darshan. The Vaikuntha Ekadashi is one of the most important and auspicious days for the devotees of Lord Vishnu. It is dedicated to Lord Venkateshwara. On this auspicious day, Lord Venkateshwara assures his devotees liberation in both the inner and the outer world. The significance of the Vaikuntha Ekadashi is mentioned in the Padma Purana. Join us for this special darshan of Vaikuntha Ekadashi and the Vaikuntha Vasal Darshan, the door to experience the enlightenment space of Vaikuntha.
So we are being celebrating the Nithyananda, which started on 16th December 2021 and which will be ending on 8th January 2022. So Kailasa, the sovereign state of Sri Kailasa, cordially invites one and all for the grand celebrations in honor of the 45th Avatar Dinotsava or birthday. Celebrations of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. Kailasa is celebrating the happening of the Avatar with the 45th Nithyananda from 16 December 2021 to 8 January 2022.
Let us look at some of the important announcements and the recognitions that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has received after a short.
Time itself is nothing but your decision to struggle with the same rut. Your decision to struggle with the same rut is time, Kala. Your decision to swallow time is Kala Bhairava. Stand. Be a conscious woman or man. Be conscious being. Shrink the time through conscious will persistence. Make the future into present by being ferocious with yourself.
Nithyanam, everybody, welcome back. Let us now look at some of the Mayor Paul E. Coogan of the city of Fall River, Massachusetts, has conferred a proclamation to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the sovereign of the sovereign state of Sri KAILASA, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, and proclaims January 3rd, 2022, the incarnation day of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism as KAILASA's SPH Nithyananda Day, to honor the hard and the selfless work, the achievements, the religious and human rights advocacy, and the global humanitarian services of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. 31 cities worldwide have declared January 3rd, 2022 as KAILASA's SPH Nithyananda Day. Mayor Lee Harris of the Shelby County, Tennessee, confers a proclamation to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, proclaiming January 3rd, 2022 as KAILASA's SPH Nithyananda Day. The member of the Legislative Assembly, the Magadi Assembly Constituency, Karnataka, Manjunath confers a proclamation to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the sovereign of the sovereign state of Sri KAILASA, proclaiming January 3rd, 2022 as KAILASA's SPH Nithyananda Day.
Mayor William C. Dust of Concord, North Carolina, also confers a proclamation stating that January 3rd, 2022 as the incarnation day of the SPH. The Honorable Mark D. Saulnier, U.S. Congressman representing the 11th Congressional District of California, confers a certificate of special congressional recognition to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the sovereign of the sovereign state of Sri KAILASA, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Here we have a letter of appreciation from Mr. Shiv Pujin Lal Bihari, General Secretary of the Mauritius Sanatana Dharma Temples Federation, Mauritius, state of Sri KAILASA, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam.
We have another proclamation from Mayor Aquanetta Warren, Mayor Pro Tem Peter A. Garcia, and the council members of the city of Fontana, California, conferring the proclamation to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and joining Sri KAILASA in celebrating the 45th Jayanti celebrations, the incarnation day of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Mayor H. William Mudds of the city of Lakeland, Florida, also confers a proclamation and proclaims January 3rd, 2022 as KAILASA's SPH Nithyananda Day. Mayor J. Allen Joins of the city of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, confers a proclamation and proclaims January 3rd, 2022 as KAILASA's SPH Nithyananda Day. Mayor Sammy Phillips of the city of Jacksonville, North Carolina, confers a proclamation proclaiming January 3rd, 2022 as the incarnation day of SPH as KAILASA's SPH Day, thereby honoring the 45th celebration of the revival of the sovereign state of Sri KAILASA, the ancient enlightened Hindu civilizational nation, the first nation of Hindus.
Mayor Krista Bernasconi of the city of Roseville, California, also confers a certificate of recognition proclaiming that January 3rd, 2022 as the incarnation day of the SPH as KAILASA's SPH Nithyananda Day. Mayor Carolyn K. Riggle of the city of Delaware, Ohio, confers a proclamation proclaiming that January 3rd, 2022 as the incarnation day of the SPH. And he also thanks the local members of the Nithyananda Hindu Temple, Ohio, for their continuing outreach and support to the city of Delaware. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivam, first visited Ohio in 2003 during his World Vijayatra. During his second visit in 2004, the governor of Ohio, Robert Alfonso Taft, conferred a proclamation to the SPH, and the SPH gave a breakthrough discourse at the Bharatiya Hindu Temple and after his meditation at Powell, Ohio, on August 17, 2004. The SPH had subsequent Vijayatras to Ohio in 2005, 2006, and 2007, visiting temples, churches, corporate world, where he delivered discourses on the powerful truths of the Vedas and the Agamas.
The first KAILASA temple, KAILASA, Ohio, was inaugurated on April 14, 2007. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism personally performed the Prana Pratishtha, which is the consecration of deities of Ganesha, Subramanya, Valli, Devasena, Lakshmi, Nandi, and Mushika. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism came back to Ohio in 2009 and installed the deities of Sai Baba and Ram Parivar. He conducted multiple life empowering programs such as the Life Bliss program. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted the first LBP ever conducted in a prison, the Ohio Women's Reformatory, in June 2009. Since 2003, over 110,000 hours of volunteer hours have been recorded towards the following. Over 2,000 Ohio residents participated in free programs. 75 free corporate meditations have been conducted for more than 700 people, including at Bank One, Cardinal Health, Nationwide, American Electric Power, Ohio State University, Ohio Wesleyan University, Ohio University, Wittenberg. 25 free Nitya Yoga classes have been conducted, benefiting 350 people. 34 free online programs have been conducted, including meditation and prayer for world peace to more than 500 people. Over 100 free meditation and yoga classes have been provided to the inmates of the Ohio Reformatory for Women. 17 specialty wellness workshops on yoga, wellness, stress, Ayurveda, Sattvic cooking, and weight loss have been conducted. Over 17,520 temple rituals have been conducted. Chanting classes to 53,200 people have been conducted. 184 sessions of free online Akashic readings have been conducted for 500 plus people. 272 meditation and meetup classes have been conducted for 685 people, and 25,000 people have received free meals, and 5,000 spiritual discourses have been conducted. Since KAILASA, Ohio, thousands of KAILASA ecosystems have flourished in the United States in nearly all the 50 states. These ecosystems offer a place and space to explore and explode through a host of activities from meditation to science. They nurture the quantum spirituality, where the material and spiritual worlds merge and create a blissful living. They offer life solutions as per the Vedagamic scriptures, as revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, who has positively transformed the lives of millions.
Mayor John David Smith, the junior mayor of the city of Winchester, Virginia, also confers a proclamation proclaiming that January 3rd, 2022 as the Incarnation Day of the SPH, thereby honoring the 45th celebration of the revival of the sovereign state of Sri KAILASA, the ancient enlightened Hindu civilizational nation, the first nation of Hindus. We have a commendation letter from the National President of Ten India Sanmarga Aikya Sangam, Fiji, Sri Sadashiva Nayakar, in the honor of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Mayor Donald R. Sadler of the city of Washington, North Carolina, confers a proclamation to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the sovereign of the sovereign state of Sri KAILASA, proclaiming January 3rd, 2022 as the Incarnation Day of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism as KAILASA's HDH Nithyananda Day. Let us get ready to enter into the next segment of today's Parashakti Akashic readings, which is the demonstration of the extraordinary powers. Please stay tuned as we enter into the next.
Time itself is nothing but your decision to struggle with the same rut. Your decision to struggle with the same rut is time, Kala. Your decision to swallow time is Kala Bhairava. Stand. Be a conscious woman or man. Be conscious being. Shrink the time through conscious will persistence. Make the future into present. by being ferocious with yourself. Time itself is nothing but your decision to struggle with the same rut. Your decision to struggle with the same rut is time, Kala. Your decision to swallow time is Kala Bhairava. Stand. Be a conscious woman or man. Be conscious being. Shrink the time through conscious will persistence. Make the future into present by being ferocious with yourself.
Nithyanam, everybody, welcome back. Let us now enter into the next segment of today's Parashakti Akashic readings, manifesting the extraordinary Shaktis. Today, the Balasans, the Nityananda Yogis, and the initiated disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism will be demonstrating the powers of Third Eye and sharing with all the experiences and the results of these extraordinary power manifestations and the divine powers awakened in us through the Diksha or initiation. In today's Bhava Samadhi Darshan, all of us will be receiving initiations into Third Eye awakening and various other powers with the blessings and the grace of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. We'll be manifesting the powers of Third Eye, our Shaktis. In the Vedagamas, which are the source of scriptures of Hinduism, Paramashiva reveals in elaborate detail that every human being is hardwired to manifest 463 extraordinary Shaktis. Manifesting powers or Shaktis are described as the system, a method, and a science for human beings to explore the various possibilities and powers and have access to various states of consciousness. Shaktis manifest from the fundamental cognition that you are a divine and you need to manifest divine. It's not that you are a man and you need to become divine. Let us understand some of the differences between the Shaktis and Siddhis.
Yes. Siddhis are powers that manifest from tapas or penance for enlightenment, and Siddhis are on path of enlightenment, whereas Shaktis express from the space of enlightenment as a side effect of feeling connection with the divine and high integrity with the Guru. Shaktis are source of enlightenment. Siddhis are not permanent, and Siddhis may divert you from enlightenment. Whereas the Shaktis of Paramashiva manifest through ordinary human beings in an extraordinary way after initiation from the avatar. And Shaktis are always permanent. So let us now understand about Paramashiva, the source of all the Shaktis. Paramashiva is the primordial divinity in Hinduism, the ultimate reality and cause, which is the self-effulgent Swayam Prakasha, all-pervading, unchanging beyond time, space, form, and causality. As the fundamental base of Avyakta, the unmanifest Avyakta, the manifest existence, he performs the Panchakritya, or 5 cosmic acts of Srishti, this creation, Sthiti, sovereign rulership and maintenance, Samhara, rejuvenation, Bhava, pulling out of delusion, Anugraha, liberating grace for all living entities.
The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, as the 1008th incarnation and representative of Paramashiva, and the reviver of Kailasa, the ancient enlightened Hindu civilization nation, the great cosmic borderless Hindu nation. Ever since the beginning of the civilization, the Sanatana Dharma has been a cradle for enlightened beings and highly advanced sciences. It was where the science of enlightenment and the powers, the Shaktis, was lived and taught as a lifestyle. For the first time in the modern day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving these yogic sciences and transmitting it to the world at a record-breaking pace never accomplished before. The knowledge and the science of manifesting these Shaktis are passed down from one generation to the next through Diksha or initiations by the enlightened Gurus. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, being recognized as an incarnation at a very young age, was trained and taught these sciences to revive the initiations and the knowledge repositories for billions to manifest the science of our manifestation from the disciplines of Vedanta, Tantra, Sri Vidya, Yoga and Yogic powers, Mantra Shastra, Siddha Vidya, science of Aushadha, Advaita, Bhakti Yoga, Paramashiva Jnana, and Paramashiva Vijnana. Let us understand how do we awaken these Shaktis. Every ultimate truth, which is the jnana, when it is mapped into your consciousness, which is your prajna, it manifests as possibility and the power of every being, prajnana. Let us now watch a beautiful video on the science of initiation.
Diksha is the direct transfer of spiritual energy by an enlightened being through look, word, or touch. The traditional Vedic book Navaratneshwara states, Sarva samapi dikshanam muktihi phalamakhanditam avirodhat bhavantyeva prasangyastu bhuktayah. The main benefit of all initiations is moksha, enlightenment. As a side effect, health, wealth, leadership, and well-being happen. And in Rudrayamala Tantra, Shiva says, Devi diksha vihinasya na siddhihi na cha sadgatihi tasmat sarva prayatnena guruna dikshito bhavet. The one who is not initiated does not attain liberation nor a better future. So by all efforts, one should get initiated by Guru. What is the science of initiation? Neuroscience has proved that the process of initiation floods the brain with energy. This is the superconscious energy of Kundalini, our own highest inner potential energy. As the Kundalini flows from the thalamus to the cortex, it sets up a powerful energy loop within the brain, which awakens the latent non-mechanical parts which we have never used before. With increasing levels of coherence, the whole brain comes alive, turning into a superconductor of conscious energies that heal, empower, transform our lives, bliss and fulfillment. Initiation creates high awareness, visualization, creativity, It also slows the aging process and improves the immune system. Kundalini awakening, healing experience, levitation, teleportation, materialization. Experience the power of initiation through a range of exclusive programs conducted at the ashram. Nithyananda Dhyanapitham.
Now that we have watched a beautiful video on the science of initiation, let us understand the next. The science of power manifestation is authenticated through 4 aspects of evidences or pramanas. The first is the Shastra Pramana. The Shastra Pramana is the eternal and the unchangeable truths that are revealed in the source scriptures. The next is the Apta Pramana, which is the experience and the results of Aptas or authorities of Hinduism. The next is the Atma Pramana, which is the personal experience of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The fourth is the Pratyaksha Pramana, which is the empirical evidence from observation and scientific experimentation.
Veda Agamas is a living applied science. Vedas are the ultimate, superior authority for Hindus. Vedas are pure science, where the ultimate truths are explained. Agamas are the scriptures, where the applied technology, the applied science is expanded. Vedas and Agamas, Veda Agamas are given the status of Shruti, as they are directly revealed by Paramashivoham. They are ultimate, eternal, unchangeable truths. A reference cited from these Shastra or source scriptures is called the Shastra Pramana.
Let us now get ready to witness a unique and exciting demonstration of the power of third eye. And we request the participants, the viewers who are watching us live from various different social media platforms and the Nithyananda TV, KAILASA TV. If you'd like to experience the power of body scanning, you can head over to either the Facebook or the YouTube live, and you can comment below that you would like to experience the power of body scanning. And we shall pick one of you and manifest this power of body scanning. So as you all take your time to go over and put your message, let us now look at the pramanas, the evidences for the power of body scanning. The Shastra Pramana for the power of body scanning is from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 54. The verse goes as Swadehe Jagato Vapi Sukshma Sukshmatarani Cha Tattvani Yani Nilayam Dhyattvante Vyajyate Para. Bhagavan Paramashiva says, cognize deeply that from the subtle to the subtlest constitutive principles of your whole body, Swadeha, or of the whole universe, simultaneously consist of the essential reality. They are being absorbed in their source cause, Paramashiva. By the experience of such a restful awareness, and one becomes complete from all thoughts, and the universal ultimate divine power, Paradevi, Adi Shakti, is revealed, and the supreme power manifestation happens.
Let us now look at the Apta Pramana, reference of power of body scanning from a life of Siddha. Terayar was Siddha and one of the prominent disciples of Agatya. One day, a man suffering from severe headache comes to Agatya for healing. Agatya uses the power of body scanning and identifies the root cause of the headache. He reveals that there is a small Terai, a type of frog, sitting in the person's brain. Agatya immediately instructs Terayar, his disciple, to perform an open head surgery and remove the frog. After the surgery is completed successfully, the person is healed and cured of the headache. Thus, he gained the name Terayar.
The Atma Pramana, which is the personal experience of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, on 22nd of December 2019, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism revealed how he uses the power of body scanning. Paraphrasing his words, only when I had to undergo multiple compound fracture, hand fracture, I was forced to go for surgery, and therefore the medical checkups related to that. At that time, they detected a heavy metal quantity in my different organs. It was revealed that I had been poisoned without our knowledge. I immediately used the diagnostic methods instead of medical facilities to study the body condition due to the poisoning. Through the body scanning, I found out what the problems were, the imbalances that had happened, and where the balance has to be done. I used allopathy as a second opinion to verify my findings. The Sakshi Pramana, which is the experience and the results of the extraordinary manifestations through the initiated disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Now, I am going to be manifesting this power of body scanning. We have a participant, Vikrant, who has posted a message, a comment in our YouTube live. So Vikrant, I'll be now manifesting this power of body scanning. I request you to please sit straight with your head, neck and spine in a straight line. And remember Swamiji in your third eye. Let us chant the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, to establish ourselves in the space of oneness with Swamiji to manifest this power. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Yes, so what Swamiji revealed is that the lungs, especially the lungs, have been affected in your body because of the unhealthy lifestyle and the smoking habit that you had. And this has actually reduced the alveoli, and because of which the oxygen in your blood is low. This leading to a number of diseases, including the problems with your eye, the problems with your kidneys. So actually the problem is with your lungs, and it is because of the lifestyle that you're having. Swamiji revealed for you to immediately quit the bad habits and switch over to a lifestyle to experience Paramashiva. Start doing the morning routine and the Nitya Yoga, the Nityananda Yoga, and by living and eating a lifestyle of the vegetarian lifestyle, by living the vegetarian lifestyle, you will be able to restore your health back and you'll be able to manifest the powers of Paramashiva. This is what Swamiji revealed to me. You can put down in the comment itself in the Facebook or the YouTube as to how you're able to relate with this revelation. So with that, we are coming towards the conclusion of this particular segment. It is now time that we move to the next segment of today's Parashakti Akashic readings after a short break. Please stay tuned.
Time itself is nothing but your decision to struggle with the same rut. Your decision to struggle with the same rut is time, Kala. Your decision to swallow time is Kala Bhairava. Stand. Be a conscious woman or man. Be conscious being. Shrink the time through conscious will persistence. Make the future into present by being ferocious with yourself.
Yes. Nithyananda everyone. Welcome back to the Devi Parashakti Akashic reading. As we are seeing above SPH, his great contribution to the Hinduism. In this segment, we're going to see more about the divine feminine consciousness, how this divine feminine consciousness is very much unique to the Hinduism. This unique contribution to the spiritual consciousness from the Vedic tradition is the sacred worship. It is lost. Then, just if this sacred feminine tradition is there, then the whole thing can be revived because that is the seed. This very statement stated that the amount and the unique contribution and the power which that feminine worship has and hold on the Hinduism. It says, what Hinduism has given to the humanity have lost, and whatever is stored, it can be lost only just by this sacred woman worship, divine feminine worship. If it stays, everything can be brought back. That is the power, and because that is the seed from which the Hinduism has brought up. So Hinduism has at least 10,000 sampradayas. If all the sampradayas are lost for some reason, and only this one sampradaya, the Devi worship, remains, the whole thing can be brought back because the whole thing is centered on this one. This is mother worship. Mother worship carries the blueprint, the hologram of the whole Vedic tradition. The mother worship is the hologram of the Vedic tradition. See, there is no enlightened beings on the planet Earth without worshipping the sacred feminine, including me. This is a statement from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself. He said, there is no enlightened being on the planet Earth without without worshipping the sacred feminine. They can't be in the space and including him. I am basically a Shakti. I myself followed Devi worship. If you see, and all the deities I carved, the Darshan I had, all mother-based Devi births. This is the statement from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The one more incarnation, the Sri Ramakrishna Paramashivam, almost a year says, Shiva is a Brahman, but Devi has the key to reach Brahman. Unless she opens, nobody can reach. He further explained with a house scene of Indian traditional Indian family, where the husband is the owner of the family. You know, in Indian traditional Indian village, the culture where husband goes out, earns money, work to earn money for a family to run all the external, like materialistic world, he will be involved and then he will be earning much. But the woman, the wife, she going to be in the house, she is going to be the holding of all the assets and the keys of the house. So here, even though the husband is the owner, the key to the house will be on the hip of the mother. Either you have to fall at the feet of the mother, or these small sons who are very close and intimate to these mothers, only they can touch the place and then they can take the key. So it is very sad that, as we all know, the ultimate truth and ultimate consciousness in Hinduism is the Paramashiva, the ultimate source. Even though if you want to reach the space, the only way to get the space, get the key is from the Devi worship to the divine feminine worship.
So here we have the beautiful Dhyana Shloka of Devi Parashakti, where the translation goes, the Divine Mother is imitated upon as shining in a vermilion red body with the triple eyes, sporting a crown of rubies, studded with the crescent moon, a face all smiles, a splendid bust, one hand holding a jewel, cup brimming with milk, and other twirling a red lotus. This sloka is from Lalita Sahasranama. The second sloka goes that I meditated on the great empress. She is red in color and her eyes are full of compassion and holds the nose, the goat, the bow and the flowery arrow in her hands. She is surrounded on all sides by powers such as anima for race, and she is the self within me. Devi, the ultimate pure feminine consciousness, Parashakti, is the cosmic mother. It is her cosmic womb from which billions and billions of universes comes out and goes in. And she is the source where the Big Bang and black holes goes on. Parashakti is the source Shakti, the source energy, source power from which all of us came, in which all of us are even now, in which all of us are going to merge. Out of her extreme love and compassion, Parashakti herself is manifesting through the embodied form as the Nijavatar of SPH, AGM, HDH Nithyananda Paramashivam, gracing us, answering all our questions, attending our prayers, giving boons, healing us, revealing our past, present, and future, delivering profound spiritual truths, and ultimately giving us the experience of Paramashivoham itself.
Here, we're going to see a short video clip about the Devi, the introduction to the Devi by the Devi herself.
Om, Om, Om. Om, Om, Om. ஓமெனும் ஓங்காரத்து உட்பொருளாய் மலர்ந்து உயிர்த்தெழுந்து இறையனார் இடப்பாகத்திருந்து குமரிக்கண்டம் ஆளும் மீனாட்சி மலர்ந்தேன் இங்கு நல்லருள் செய்திடவும் நல்வாக்கு தந்திடவும் ஆனந்தம் ஞானத்தொடு பூரண அன்பு ஏகம் அநேகமாய் பூவுலகிற்கு பரமசிவன் ஞானம் தர வந்தேன் பராசக்தி மீனாட்சி அருளாட்சி அரசாட்சி பொருளாட்சியொடு நன்மாட்சிமையொடு ஆட்சி செய்யும் பராசக்தி மீனாட்சி நான் கருணையே வடிவா கண்மலர்ந்து நன்மை செய்திட வந்திட்டேன். மந்தர்கள் கேளுங்கள் இந்த பெருநன்மை சத்தியத்தை, கேட்டு நீங்கள் வாழ்ந்திட கேடும் பெருந்துக்கமும் உங்களுக்கில்லை. கேட்டிடுங்கள் இவ்வினாடி என்னை கண்டு கொண்டும் கேட்டுக்கொண்டும் இருக்கும் உங்கள் எல்லோருக்கும் நான் அளிக்கும் தீட்சை, நானே நினைப்பும் மறப்பும் கடந்த உயிர்ப்பாய் உங்கள் எல்லோருக்கின்றேன். பரமசிவோகம் 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 பரமசிவோகம். இதை தீட்சையாய் ஏற்று இதே உணர்வோடு அமர்ந்திருங்கள். உங்கள் எல்லோருக்கும் எல்லா நன்மையும் வரமும் ஞானமும் அருளும் அளிக்கின்றேன். ஓங்காரத்தின் உட்பொருளாய் வேதமொடு ஆகமம் மெய்யாய் வெளிப்பட்டு உபவேதங்கள் உபாகமங்கள் அனைத்துமாய் உயர்ந்து நின்று தத்துவங்கள் ஆராய் உண்மையை செப்பி ஜகம் முழுவதும் ஞானம் அளிக்கும் பாரதி பராசக்தி மீனாட்சி நான். ஆய கலைகள் 64 உடலும் மனமும் உயர்வை அடைந்திடும். பரமசிவ சக்திகளை உங்களுக்குள் மலர்த்தவே வந்திருக்கின்றேன். அஷ்ட சித்திகளும் அஷ்ட கன்மமும் ஆதி சக்தி பரமேஸ்வரியாய் மலர்ந்து உங்கள் அத்துணை பேருக்கும் ஆனந்தம் அளிக்கின்றேன். அஞ்சாதீர், ஆனந்தத்தோடிருப்பீர். ஓம் 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 ஹ்ரீம் 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 ஓம் ஹ்ரீம். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
Yes. In the words of Parashakti herself, she described about herself saying, rising as Omkara, expressing as Vedas and Agamas, blossomed as Himkara, filled as Parashodasi, living in the 40 triangles, the Kailasa Swamini, who is in the Kailasa Sri Purachintamani, Parashodasi, sitting as part of Paramashiva, Parameshwari, who rules the world, Paramashakti, Manonmani, Meenakshi as Nithyananda. I took the Nijavatara here to give good boon to everyone, to bestow all the goodness. Hiranyagarbha Swarupini, Brahmanda Yoni, Shami, Chandramauli, Rapala, Aparna, Uma, Parvati, Savitri, Navayavana, Samraja Lakshmi, Parameshwari, Parasodashi, Meenakshi, taking the form of Nithyananda. I came here as Nijavatara. With a great compassion, I am blessing all of you. Listen, people, to do good to all of you, I took the form of Nithyananda and came down as Nijavatara. Rising in Omkara, blossoming as Shiva, manifesting as the source of existence, the power of existence, and expression of the existence. From the oneness of Om, blossoming into the two as Prakriti and Purusha, blossoming as three Shaktis, Iksha, Kriya, Jnana, growing as a 4 Vedas, expanding as 5 Panchabhutas, beyond the 6 chakras, filled as the Gotras of 7 Rishis, expanding as 8 direction, existing as 9 Gragas, blossoming as 10 Indriyas, being as 11 Rudras, creating all the worlds, bringing life to tell and make truth blossom and to do good. Parashodashi, Meenakshi, in the form of Nithyananda, I came to bless every one of you. Now let us see how to receive Devi Parashakti. Woman, she lands and comes to express her love and compassion by revealing the truth, to relieve all the people from this pralaya, to bless them and grace us with this extreme compassion. Let's see how to receive Devi Parashakti. Before moving to this, how to receive Devi Parashakti, we'll be having a short break. We'll be connecting you back. Stay tuned. Yes, let's continue to see how to receive the Devi Parashakti. See, literally you are seeing Paramashiva and Parashakti at the moment. See, is there in your screen. So always receive her very traditionally. It may be any medium, it may be a social media, Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube. It may be any medium where you can receive Devi and you can get blessed by Devi. Whatever it may be, she is literally there in your screen. Keep 2 betel leaf, 1 banana, 1 betel nut, and 1 coin in front of the screen. Watch the Devi. This coin is considered as a Dakshina, traditional Dakshina in Hinduism. It may be any kind, maybe any small amount. It may be India, it may be even 1 paise, even if it's US, it may be 1 cent. The coin, the amount, the value of the coin is not a matter. It's just a tradition. It is a sentiment towards which we are following in the Hindu tradition. Here, this keeping a coin, it may be a small, and receiving Devi with a small coins, it may be a small at the initial stage. But if it adds, soon it's going to be, you can feel your sentiment that she is really there. These rituals will break your monotonous unconsciousness mentality and lifestyle that remind you and rise you to the powerful cognition. It will break your unconscious behavior.
Time itself is nothing but your decision to struggle with the same rut. Your decision to struggle with the same rut is time, Kala. Your decision to swallow time is Kala Bhairava. Stand. Be a conscious woman or man. Be conscious being. Shrink the time through conscious will persistence. Make the future into present by being ferocious with yourself.
Yes. Now let us understand the revelations by Devi Parashakti. So let's watch a video clip what Devi has to share to the world.
Time itself is nothing but your decision to struggle with the same rut. Your decision to struggle with the same rut is time, Kala. Your decision to swallow time is Kala Bhairava. Stand. Be a conscious woman or man. Be conscious being. Shrink the time through conscious will persistence. Make the future into present by being ferocious with yourself.
Yes, welcome back. As we are seeing about the revelation from the Devi Parashakti, let's see what Devi has revealed about to the one of the question of the devotee Andrea Skull. Andrea Skull, you are asking which country is safe to escape from the Third World War. Listen to everything which is said. War in the Middle East, deadly corona in India, and rising sea level. Protection from all these three is one and only KAILASA. Only it is good for life, if possible, come and reach. As Devi has revealed, as we all know what the world is facing currently with this three factor which Devi has said. We all know that almost like 80 conflicts are happening in the world at now current time all across the globe. It may be any conflict, it may be a political, it may be a civil war, whatever reason, but almost like 80 wars, conflicts are happening all across the globe. And this deadly corona, the third wave, which is in the form of Omicron variant, it is spreading in vast manner in India. Not only in India, it is spreading across in US, UK, everywhere. As Devi has said, in India, it is killing in mass. As Devi has revealed about the other factor, which is the rising sea level. Now, today in this segment, we're going to see about the current state of the world as revelation by the Devi Parashakti. Devi has said that there are going to be a rise in the sea level all across the globe. Now, let's see what the current facts and all around the globe, what is going across this one factor, the rising in the sea level. This global warming and climatic change are being a big calamity now all across the globe. This climate change and global warming are often used interchangeably, but it has a distinct meaning, same as the weather and climate. See, weather refers to an atmospheric condition that occurs locally over a short period of time. If you can compare that, like, you can relate with the everyday activity. The morning, you may have a sunny day, in the evening, it may end in the rainy day. So this short-term period changes, and as a region, it is changed as called as a weather. But climate, on the other hand, refers to a long-term region or even globally average of the temperature. It is called as the climate. Now let us see what actually the climatic change is. See, this climatic change refers to the both human and naturally produced warming and the effect it has on our planet. It is most commonly measured as the average increase in the Earth's global surface temperature. The climate change is a change in the distribution of data of seasonal patterns. When these changes continue for a long time, this could mean a change in the average weather condition. And the average weather condition over a long period of time. So this climatic change you can relate directly with a short period of time or maybe a local place itself. But in the other aspect, the global warming is a phenomenon of increasing the average air temperature near to the surface of Earth over the past 1 to 2 centuries. As we all know, as we have studied in our school days itself, that there is one factor called global warming, which is affecting the world in a vast manner. After the detailed observation of various weather phenomena, such as temperature and the storms, indicates that Earth climate has changed over almost every conceivable time scales. The influence of the human activities since at the least of the beginning of the industrial revolution played a major role in this. The moment we called as the global warming or maybe an industrial area, we all know almost in the last few decades, our humanity have reached so much of development, especially in all the energy sectors. But behind the screen, we have did so much of destruction, especially in the cause which produce so much of global warming all across the globe, especially by the burning of fossil fuels. It creates so much of warmth to the globe, the very mother earth itself. You can see by the just simple understanding what actually climate change is and what global warming. The climate change is the regional weather change, but in the other aspect, other corner where global warming is the increasing temperature almost like in every worldwide. You can see the graph now where almost 1951 to 1980 that become an average temperature. You can see almost like from 1880 to 1980, the graph at which the world surface temperature, the global surface temperature maintained at maybe like 0 degrees Celsius. But after that, we can call it as a industrial development time, where the burning of fossil fuels, so much of destruction which happened to the mother earth caused so much of increase in the global surface temperature. You can see the graph almost like 2016 and 2020 is recorded as the most warmest on the record in the history. You can see the graph now, the global temperature at the year of 1884 now. Let's see the graph, and now the 2020. Now it is the 2020 is recorded as the most warmest across the globe. So now let us see what causes for this global warming. See, we may say that sun is there, the solar radiations are coming, that is making the earth warm. Actually, that is one more factor, but that is not the actual factor for this global warming. So let us see more and more about this actual facts of the cause for the global warming. The average surface temperature of the earth is maintained by the balance of various forms of solar and terrestrial radiations. The solar radiations are also called as a short wave, and the terrestrial radiations are also called as the long wave, based on their radiations and the frequency and the wavelength. So the energy of the total incoming solar radiation is almost at maybe like around 1400 watts per square meter annually. If you adjust to the actual fact where one half of the surface of the earth is exposed to the solar radiation, because it always like day and night in the other half of the earth. So if you calculate all the facts, if you actually come to the point where it may be like around 342 watts per square meter annually. But every 100 units of incoming solar radiation, roughly around 30 units are reflected to the space, either by the clouds or the atmosphere. If you see the earth, there is sun, and there is a layer called atmosphere. There is multiple layers is there. Whatever, for every 100 units which is coming near to the earth, almost like 30 units are reflected back to the globe itself, the space itself. The remaining 70 units are again to maintain the thermodynamic equilibrium. The earth's surface and the atmosphere must radiate these 70 units back to the space itself. Everything is set, everything is in equilibrium. Then what made this global warming happening? There is one more factor called trace gases, which is also has a chemical properties, especially the so-called greenhouse gases. In the list, the first one is carbon dioxide, methane, nitrogen dioxide, and some of the infrared radiations produced by the Earth's surface. Because of this observation, some fraction of the original 70 unit does not directly escape to the space. If you see the understanding about the layer where the sun, the solar radiation is coming, almost like 30 units are reflected by the clouds, and the remaining 70 has to be reflected back. But there is a layer which is caused by these greenhouse gases which are produced from the Earth's surface, which are carbon dioxide and the methane and the nitrous oxide. These layers absorbs the heat and it's not letting the 70 units reflect back to the space, which causes the global warming. So the main reason of the global warming is CO2. Of all the greenhouse gases, the carbon dioxide is the most significant. The natural source of the atmospheric CO2 includes outgassing from the volcanoes, the combustion and the natural decay of organic matter, and respiration by the aerobic, the oxygen using organism. Even humans are the aerobic organisms. Every livestock industry is based on this oxygen using organism. So these become the major source for the CO2. It may be a volcanoes or the combustion or the natural decay of all the organic matters, which produce the enormous amount of CO2, which causes this greenhouse gas effects. So these sources, yes, one side, we can't blame that just by the way where these human beings are living, we can produce so much of CO2 just by living. No, these sources are balanced on average by a set of physical, chemical, and biological processes called as sinks that tend to remove CO2 from the atmosphere. If you see humans one side consuming oxygen and releasing CO2, on the other side plants consuming CO2 and releasing the oxygen. This maintained the equilibrium and did keep the balance of the CO2. But so much of deforestation, so much of livestock industry just for the non-vegetarian diet, so much of has grown. It causes the much more increase in the CO2 level. See, you can see the graph now. The carbon dioxide from the human activity is increasing more than almost like 50 times faster than it is did by the solar natural resources. So the atmospheric CO2 has reached since the Industrial Revolution. You can see the level at which almost at 1950, where the pre-industrial area is developed. It is almost like 300 parts per million. Now it is reached almost to 400 parts per million, and which is happening in almost like 50 times faster than what has reached. Now you can see the global contribution to the CO2 emission, where China plays a major role in releasing of these annual CO2 emissions, where the United States in the second place, India, Russia, Japan are these top 10 countries where they produce large scale of CO2 emission in the name of industrial development. You can see that atmospheric ppm, the parts per million of CO2 at the year of 2002, the starting of the industrial development, and now the 2016, it's become much more. Just by this graph alone, you can relate with what is happening in global warming. If in the first scale, in the year 2002, if the solar radiation comes from the sun, if it reaches the surface, Earth by its own nature to maintain the thermodynamic equilibrium, it can reflect back the same 17 minutes back to space. But in this case, the CO2, which is absorbing the heat, keeping the surface temperature of the air above the surface, the globe, which is causing the global warming. Another one, the greenhouse gas is methane. The second most important global warming the greenhouse has is the methane. This same as CO2, but it is more because the radiative forcing produced by the per molecule is the radiation which is produced by the methane is more greater than the CO2. As with the CO2, the human activity is increasing the CH4, the methane concentration, faster than it can be offset by the natural sinks. Whatever the natural sources which can sink the amount, make the balance in the methane, but the amount of the activities, the release by the methane, which is taking much over the natural sinks. The anthropogenic sources currently account for almost like 70% of total annual emissions of this methane. These major resources, the major sources of this anthropogenic are mainly is the livestock farming, the burning of coal and natural gases, the combustion of biomass, and the decomposition of organic matter in the landfills, which all creates a major contribution to this methane. You can see the graph here. What are the major contribution to the release of methane across the globe? The natural gases and petroleum systems, and the landfills, and the coal mining, all the factors which produce lots and lots of release of methane to the atmosphere. This pre-industrial levels of almost like methane in the atmosphere are almost like 700 ppb, because not like carbon dioxide, which is measured in ppm, parts per million. This methane is measured in parts per billion, whereas the level exceed now in almost 1900 times, which is late in 2018. This sudden increase of this concentration of methane is responsible for this global warming by temperature of almost like 4 to 8 degrees Celsius. Now, another one reason for this global warming getting warm, on the other side, we have seen almost like 50 billion. It's not just ice is becoming water. This existing water is becoming more vapor, which means this vapor are forming a greater concentration of water vapor in the lower atmosphere, which causes the long radius, the long variation to reflect back. It's emitting it downwards. The whole thing is coming back to the earth itself. You can see the graph where 1979, what is the state of the ice, the sea ice, and what is now it is happening in 2021. It's a vicious circle. One side, CO2 is emission, methane emission. It's keeping the earth warm, and because of this warm, the water is getting, this ice are melting and water is becoming boiling and it's becoming water vapor. It's like increasing. Once one factor started on, it's going on increasing. Now in this graph, we can see the social and economic impact of this climatic change. The major issues are the many diseases can easily spread due to this higher temperature. And all the products from this livestock industries will be rising, and people will be running out of work because they can't work in this higher temperature. And more wars to gain access to the limited sources, because the moment it's going to be less resources, there are going to be more and more wars between the countries and the nations just to acquire the more resources. The fresh water will be short in supply for all the places, and there are going to be a huge loss in the production. Yes, it is happening. What is the side effect now? The planet average surface temperature is reached almost like 2.12 degree Fahrenheit in the last 19th century itself. This warming is occurred in almost like 40 years, is 7 times faster what has happened before. Not only the earth, the surface of earth is warming, even the water body, where 1/3 of the world is acquired by the water, almost top 100 meters, almost 328 feet of the ocean, showing warming of almost 0.6 degrees Celsius since 1967. So this causes the major water vapor. As by default, we know there is a sea level rise. You can see, you can map to the Devi Parashakti revelation now. So much of happening now, which is sinking to the one reason, which is sea level rise, which Devi has revealed in the Parashakti reading. Starting from the burning of fossil fuels, landfills, which creates the more carbon dioxide and methane. It produces the greenhouse gases, which causes the earth to become more warm. Because of that, there's a huge change in the climatic change, and it causes more and more heat in the water. Because of this temperature rise, ice are melting, and the water molecules in the across the globe is increased. The rate in the last 2 decades is almost nearly double the time what we have faced in last century. Almost like the prediction says, maybe the end of 2100, there may be an 8 feet rise in the sea level across the globe. You can see there are many countries which are surrounded by all 4 sides, many tiny islands which are in the sea area. It may be sink because of the sea level rise. This Intergovernmental Panel of Climatic Change, which is coming under the United Nations, have predicted that 95% of the probability that human activity that this did to the past is whatever the 50 years warmed the earth or planet much. You can see the effect of climatic change. You can see almost 650 million people, not far from almost like 10% of global population, could be under the water by 2100. The source just said, you can see the graph, almost like India and China, maybe around 10 to 50 million people will be under the water by 2100. And the next place where USA, Canada, North America, everyone is there in the same place where almost like 10% of the global population will be sink by the water. Let's see a video where Bhava himself is saying what is the major reason for this global warming.
Understand, global warming is true, and it is because of non-veg industry. I am not saying this. Google, go to the internet. There's enough statistics. 73% of the carbon footprint release. Animal industries. When I say animal industry, three major industry. Animals grown for meat, animals grown for leather, animals grown for other medicinal and cosmetic products. Understand? Animals grown for meat, food purposes. Animals grown for leather. Animals grown for medical and cosmetic purposes. This industry forms 73% of the carbon footprint responsible for global warming. That is what I call rajotamasic. Not worst like a alcohol, not worst like a marijuana, ganja, heroin. Little better, but collectively kills everyone. Understand? Global warming is true and it is big.
Yes. Let's see, as Bhavan himself said, just by this non-vegetarian diet, just for the pleasure of the taste, which human society has moved so much from our traditional food to the non-veg industry, which has become the so much of carbon footprint and which becomes the more such increase in this carbon dioxide to the atmosphere, which becomes the greenhouse gases and the methane also. Now, Bhagavan himself said, how this Hindus' contributions for saving the planet just by adopting the lifestyle of the vegetarian diet.
One of the biggest problem planet Earth is facing is global warming. One of the important reason for global warming is animals kept captive for food. Animals kept captive for food is one of the important reason for global warming. And Hindus are the highest percentage of vegetarian and vegan lifestyle people. Even the Hindus who consume non-vegetarian, don't consume beef, and don't consume non-vegetarian food as a regular food or lifestyle. It's a rare occasion. So the Hindus' contribution for saving the planet Earth just by their lifestyle of vegetarianism is unimaginable.
Yes. With this, we come to the end of this segment where Bhagavan himself shared just by this one lifestyle, having a non-vegetarian, not having the non-vegetarian diet, just being the vegetarian, just by having this one lifestyle, Hinduism and the Hindus have contributed much to this against the global warming. With this, we come to the end of this segment where we have seen about the divine and feminine worship and the revelation of the Devi Parashakti, what the current world is facing now as per the Devi's revelation. So we will move on to the next segment where we're going to see much more details about the Devi Parashakti. Stay tuned, Nithyanandam.
Time itself is nothing but your decision to struggle with the same rut. Your decision to struggle with the same rut is time, Kala. Your decision to swallow time is Kala Bhairava.
स्फुरितकटिकौपीनवसनः ददानो दुष्टारं शिरसि पनिराजं शशिकला ॐ हृद्यास्म हव्यैर्नोमपसद् ॐ शुक्लां भरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तयेत् ॐ तदेव लग्नं सुदिनं तदेव ताराबलं चन्द्रबलं तदेव विद्याबलं देवबलं तदेव गौरीपते तें घ्रीगं स्मरामि ॐ हर हर नमः पार्वतीपते हर हर महादेव शिवाभ्यां नमः ओम मम पाता समस्ता दुर्दक्षद्वारा श्री परमेश्वराग्य परमेश्वर प्रीत्यर्थं करिष्यमाणस्य कर्मणः विघ्नेन परिसमपर्ता आदौ विघ्नेश्वर पूजां करिष्येति संकल्प्य अपस्पृश्य ओम गम गणपते नमः ओम गम अनंताय नमः ओम गम धर्माय नमः ओम गम ज्ञानाय नमः ओम गम वैराग्याय नमः ओम गम ऐश्वर्याय नमः ओम गम पद्माय नमः पद्मस्य परे ओम गम गणपत्यासनाय नमः ओम गम गणपति मूर्तये नमः ओम गणानां त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तवं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पति आनश्रवण्णोतिभिस्सेदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः ॐ श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः ॐ एकदन्तशूर्पकर्णं गजवक्त्रमहोदरं पाशाङ्कुशधरं देवं ध्यायेत् सिद्धिविनायकम् ॐ गं गणपतये नमः ध्यायामि आवाहयामि इति आवाहनस्थापना सन्निधानसन्निरोधना दिग्बन्धना वकुण्ठन तालत्रय धेनु पाशङ्कुशा नमस्कारमुद्रां च प्रदर्श्य ॐ गं गणपतये नमः इति पाद्यं समर्पय ॐ गं गणपतये स्वधा इति आचमनीयं समर्पय ॐ गं गणपतये स्वाहा इति अर्घ्यं समर्पय ॐ आपो हि सोमयो भवातानि ऊर्जे ददातन महेरणाय चक्षुषे यो वा शिवतमोरसः तस्य भाजतनहनः उष्टीरं मातरः तस्मार्ग्मावः यस्साक्षाज्जनपदः आपो जन्नतशनः ॐ गं गणपतये नमः इति स्नानानन्तरं समर्पयामि ॐ गं गणपतये नमः इति स्नानानन्तरमाचमनीयं समर्पयामि वसे यज्ञोपवीतोत्तरीयाभरार्थमक्षतां समर्पयामि ॐ गं गणपतये नमः गन्धान् धारयामि गन्धस्य परिहर्द्रा कुङ्कुमचूर्णं समर्पयामि ॐ गं गणपतये नमः पुष्पैः पूजयामि ॐ गं गणपतये नमः ॐ गं भवस्य देवस्य सुताय नमः ॐ गं शर्वस्य देवस्य सुताय नमः ॐ गं ईशानस्य देवस्य सुताय नमः ॐ गं पशुपते देवस्य सुताय नमः ॐ गं उग्रस्य देवस्य सुताय नमः ॐ गं रुद्रस्य देवस्य सुताय नमः ॐ गं भीमस्य देवस्य सुताय नमः ॐ गं महतोस्य देवस्य सुताय नमः ॐ गं रुद्रस्य देवस्य सुताय नमः ॐ हरिद्रागणपतये नमः ॐ गं सिद्धिविनायकस्वामिने नमः नानाविधमन्त्राशुपुष्पाणि समर्पयामि ॐ दशाङ्गं गुग्गुलोपेदं सुगन्धं च सुमनोहरम् आघ्रे सर्वदेवानां धूपोऽयं प्रतिगृह्यताम् ॐ श्रीमहागणपतिं धूपमाघ्रापयामि ॐ साज्यं त्रिवर्तियुक्तं वह्निनां योजितं मया ग्रहाणमङ्गलं दीपं त्रैलोक्यतिमिरापहम् ॐ गं गणपते नमः श्रीमहागणपतिं दीपं दर्शयामि ॐ अमृते अमृतोद्भवे अमृतवर्षिणि अमृतं श्रावय श्रावय स्वाहा ॐ गं गणपते नमः अमृतं महानैवेद्यं निवेदयामि नैवेद्यमन्त्रमाचमनीयं समर्पयामि ॐ पूगीफलसमायुक्तं नागबलिदलैरुतं कर्पूरचूर्णसंयुक्तं ताम्बूलं प्रतिगृह्यताम् ॐ गं गणपते नमः कर्पूरताम्बूलं समर्पयामि ॐ योपां पुष्पं वेद पुष्पवान् प्रजावान् पशुमान् भवते चन्द्रमा वापां पुष्पं पुष्पवान् प्रजावान् पशुमान् भवते य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवते ॐ गं गणपते नमः वेदोक्त